When will part 2 of this year's worldwide celebration begin? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the worldwide celebration Beyond Space and Time campaign and trying to figure out when we can place the start of part 2. After all, we've finished just about all of the part 1 content, which means there should only be a few more days till the start. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's hop on in and try to figure this out. So as always, one of the first ways we can figure out when the parts are going to be broken up by is to look in two areas. Number one, we can look at the Dokkan, and we can look at the Dokkan Fest sales, right? The Dragonstone sales. If we look here, we can see that the price of the single Dragonstone for 5 for the price of 1, right? The 99-cent pack ends on the 13th. The rest of the sales, with the exception of the premium stone sales, end on the 13th as well. So it's pretty safe to assume that a new banner is dropping around that time. They almost always reset the sales at that time. Now, at this moment, I have no idea what those sales can look like, but they'll probably be pretty similar to what we see here. Now, with that said, this isn't always a guarantee, so we can always back it up by looking at one other area, and that is the Elder Kai summon, right? The Elder Kai summon would appear to be ending on the 14th at 9:59 p.m. Now, this is according to my time, HST, Hawaii Standard Time, so this is probably gonna be somewhere around like midnight PST. So we have a rough window of when the banners should be dropping between the end of the sales on the 13th at 5 a.m. and the 14th at, where did it go? Did I lose it again? I just scrolled past it, didn't I? Yep. And the 14th at 10 p.m. So good chance that somewhere within this time frame the banners are going to be dropping. And if we take a look at last year's worldwide campaign, that actually lines up almost to the T, right? The banners dropped at 4 a.m. UTC, so that's about 8 p.m. my time, right? Over here, Hawaii Standard Time, so 10-ish p.m. Yeah, 10-ish p.m. PST. So that on the 14th, right? So that completely lines up with everything that happened last year. So good chance that that is when we can expect the banners. Now, this isn't set in stone, right? Nothing's perfect, but this is a good guesstimate of when we can expect to see the next set of legendary banners. Now, good chance that since we did a dual Dokkan Fest for part 1, whatever is coming is going to be a dual carnival, much similar to the 8th anniversary. However, I do know there was a lot of complaints from people, and I'm sure they voiced them in the survey, about the dual carnival format, and I honestly curious if maybe they took that into consideration and possibly considering doing some sort of like top legendary carnival summon, like just putting them both on one banner. I feel like that would be a better route forward instead of having two, or just going back to giving us one LR. I know some people will say that 2 LRs is better than 1, but I think in the case of knowing your player base, personally, I would like to just see it 1, but we'll see what happens. Either way, we can expect it somewhere around the 14th or 15th. And all of that kind of lines up. Within the next few days, we should be seeing some info drop. It is currently the 4th, and if we follow last year's trend, our first indicator as to what is going to happen for part 2 dropped at around the 7th, 2 a.m. my time, so I completely missed that one. But there's a good chance that we will be getting some kind of teaser in 3 days on the 7th. Hopefully they don't drop it at 2 a.m. this time. So last year it was the teaser for the metal cooler, and for this year I do have a feeling it's probably going to be, where is it? Scroll all the way up. This guy here, my hopes are for a new transforming Goku Black, but this time as an LR. And then they can probably EZA the TUR one during that time, and if we're lucky, some form of Trunks. Although I did put it out on Twitter earlier that it's also possible they could give us like a triple unit card of like Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku from their like final attack against Infinite Zamasu. It's always a possibility they do something crazy like that, and not give us a singular Trunks unit at all, aside from an EZA in a celebration that they specifically said was about Trunks. It would just be funny. I hope that doesn't happen, but at this point I wouldn't put it past them. But anyways, the info should be coming around the 7th if they decide to do the teaser again. If not, right, if we look ahead, there will definitely be some kind of retweet and share campaign that'll start just before the banners drop, right? And it'll also give us an indicator of when the banners drop when this happens as well. That'll happen by hopefully sometime around the 11th, right? So if we look at last year, 2022, if we go September, I'm pulling on my calendar here, September 2022, the 11th was on a Sunday. So whatever next week's Sunday is, I think it's the 10th. Let's take a look here. Here we are. Yeah, the 10th. So possibly by the 10th, we could see something show up here for some kind of retweet and share campaign if they decide not to do a teaser. But if anything, we could also get this the same day. So last year, we'll get something within these times. So last year they tweeted out the arts and a brief animation for the active skill for the metal cooler, I believe. So we might see something like that this time around. Who's to say? Like I said, so somewhere between the 7th and the 10th, I think, is when we'll see this stuff tweeted out. Hopefully, we'll get an indicator of what it's going to be through that. So, anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what are you hoping to see in part 2 when we get the teasers here in the next couple of days? Like I said, I think the most likely outcome is a Trunks and Goku Black. Would seem to be the case, but who really knows? Let me know what you would hope to see in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.